Alrighty, welcome back everybody to SimTrax Broadcast. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here with the USORL series. New rig, new bugs out there here for us, so bear with us as we're going to try to work out all the kinks that we can as we go. Scott Fleener is where we're taking a look at the 49 Ford. Awesome job here for him tonight. He had a decent qualifying spot. We'll see if the Dunkin' Donuts machine can kick it into overdrive. For our race tonight, we're going to be kicking it off here with the South Pointe 150 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Tough track here tonight. Very cool out there on the track. It's going to be a little sketchy out there. So as the tires heat up, these guys are going to be A-OK. Douglas Ross will tell us all about that here in just a moment. But as we talk about this race, 100 laps here tonight, 3 sets of tires down in the pit. Odd fuel capacity limit here of 67%. So I think we're going to see not one but possibly 2 pit stops. No fast repairs on this course are being fixed setup. The USORL Cup Series is always looking for drivers. Guys, you can find them, sign up, definitely get lined up for this race or any upcoming. Seeing this is race number 20. We are getting super close here to the playoffs, and I've got to admit, a lot of guys are going to be really on the edge of their seat as they move in. Douglas, cold track, not too many tires, and an interesting fuel strategies out here. What are they going to have to look out for?
Definitely tell you what, they're going to have to look out for a lot of looseness out there on that track. We've already witnessed a couple of drivers out there on the track during warm-ups and their practice laps getting loose out there on the track. So with it being cold, it's going to take a little bit more time for those tires to heat up. So it could play an interesting factor for tonight's race. All
right, I am excited to see what these guys have in store for us here tonight. I think they're going to be a little on edge if they can come off another race here, especially since we're going into the holidays. Let's try to get a good race in here tonight, and then hopefully not build up too much rust while they are away. All right, let's get ready for our starting grid here for tonight as we get this one ready to go. And I said top line, Scott Fleener will be sitting in that number 1 spot with Kerry Rogers to the outside. Moving on to row number 2, Garrett Sidnor and Darren Ingram sitting 3 and 4. Antonio Ruiz sits 5th with Justin Krzyzewski in 6th. Not bad for him as Luke Smith. 7th place start for him. He'll be next to William Page. Page in the number 42 machine. We saw how he did in the last couple of races. Man, he really wants to get up there. He can fight through the field, but can he survive? Noah Joyce starts 9th next to Cal Lovall. Not bad there for the number 5 machine. He'll be rounding out our top 10. It looks like Victor Vallee, who starts 11th, and Zach Krastowski starts in 12th. Not bad here for our top 6 rows. Let's move on to row number 7, where Andrew Lonis starts in the 13th spot next to John Peterson. Cam Barnes, Austin Spencer. Very far back start for Cam, but at least it's a top 15 start. But he's not going to have too many guys behind him here as Daryl Harris, Zachary Webster, and Colby Martin will go ahead and be rounding out our field here. 19 drivers, I've got to say, looking a little slim for the USRL Series, which is rather unusual here. But I've got to admit, these guys are definitely great racers. Unless it comes to a short track, I would say everybody has trouble at Martinsville or tracks like that. The paperclip just seems to destroy everybody out there. But this should be an excellent race here. Seeing that this mile-and-a-half track at Las Vegas is definitely getting ready to bring on a great show here tonight.
Definitely going to be a great show tonight, and it's Viva Las Vegas. A lot of these drivers are going to be gambling for their shot at the win tonight. Who's going to want it more?
Oh man, I can't wait. I'm excited to see how this one kicks off. Drivers getting ready out there on the track. Pace car is off. Green flag is going to be in the air here in just a moment. William Page looks like he has a little fade back here before the start. He's going to get taken off, and who gets punted? That's going to be Scott Fleener. Right off the bat, slings around. Yellow flag is out before we even get the tower up. Scott Fleener gets dumped here, and I don't know if this is going to be a re-rack. I think the right thing to do would be to re-rack the field and get them going and try this again. Some drivers, as I said, William Page was falling back during that start, gained 3 positions in a matter of 2 turns. Douglas, normally in a situation like this, re-racking would be the best thing, but do you think there's a possibility of these guys just going to set back up and Fleener's going to start in the back?
Yeah. It all depends on what the officials want to say. I mean, they could end up starting in the back, especially with all that damage that they had. And also, we haven't mentioned another driver that fell victim to that is Luke Smith, so he might end up having to be going to the back of the field with Fleener.
All right, well, hopefully Luke Smith didn't get too involved here as we take a look at the number 39. Looks like the car's still square here. But let's take a look while we have a moment and figure out what happens to Scott Fleener on this restart. Whoa! Yeah, Luke Smith just seems like the accordion effect. It caught him. So the pace car doesn't even get to park. Drives right out of the end of pit road and back out the other end. All right, let's take another look at it here, at what happens to Scott Fleener, and see if he missed a shift here. Can't tell if he ended up with any kind of wheel spin. Let's see if we can find us another angle. Right there. See it nosedive?
Yeah.
What was that? All right. Maybe I wonder if we can find maybe an in-cockpit view. Maybe we can see what caused Fleener to get out of control here. Here we are.
That's exactly what I was looking at, and I think you are right. I think he did miss a shift.
Oh. Well, we see him top out at the top of gear number 1, hits the top of 2, and it looks like it didn't go. Boy, Scott Fleener. Hate to see that for him, so I don't think, as we head back, I don't think that's going to be a re-rack there. They're going to kind of point fingers and say that one was his fault. I wasn't sure if somebody rear-ended him right before the green flag did come out. And it sauced everybody up there a little bit. All right, 2 more drivers come down pit road, and we'll talk to you about the ones that did. Zachary Webster and John Peterson. Down pit road, once again, this will be their second visit for John Peterson. First one for Mr. Webster. That's going to move us on to Victor Valley, Cam Barnes, Zach Krastowski came on down. So did Luke Smith. He came and joined down in pit, but guys involved, Scott Fleener did not. Fleener did not come down pit road. Garrett Sidnor came down, 53 seconds down there for him. Hate seeing that. As Sidnor was way up front. Not sure if there was a top off and go. I would assume there, with the contact that happened up front, there was some damage to the front nose of some of these vehicles out there. And they're really, they don't want to ruin their race so early into this one. Seeing there were less actually than in-seat time during the race, less than 5 minutes here. So first caution does come out before turn number 1, and hopefully they'll be back at it. There we go. That looks like the right paints. Looks like Gambit had it on. I think that was a problem we may have run into last night. A little bit of a hiccup out there. And I think we got this thing squared away. Man, paint's looking good out here tonight. Like in that 97 one there of Cam Barnes in the 97 Pepsi machine. Whoop, who's blinking up there up top? The 94, Colby Martin? Good Lord. All right, no more of that. Let's see if the green flag can come out for a little longer this time. And
green flag is out.
Yep, go ahead, let her rip.
Harry Rogers wasting no time at all grabbing the number 1 spot, and right behind him in the number 2 slot following suit right behind him is Justin Krasneski. Krasneski right now will gain control of the number 2 spot, and right back in spot number 3 will be Antonio Ruiz. And right back there in spot number 4, we're seeing a battle between Cal Lovell and Darren Ingram.
Yep, Cal Lovell in the number 5 Ford sliding down toward the bottom. Looks to go ahead and give a little kiss off that paint as he rotates right back up in front of Darren Ingram in the 21 Toyota. Not bad for the Monster Energy machine, still staying up there. Unfortunately, he has lost 1 spot. The only driver other than Luke Smith, who's broken back into the top 10 here, who has lost a spot. Everybody else has slid up. Big movers there. They lead us to Cam Barnes and Austin Spencer, who battle side by side. As with not each other. Cam Barnes and Andrew Lonis are going at each other, and the 39 of Luke Smith and Austin Spencer battle it out. Number 9 goes ahead and checks out. Darrell Harris there in the back. Looks like he is way out of shape here. Got some early gains, but now he is losing something fierce. Sidnor, big time. Up, down 9, but he's moving up. and it's hard to see so many fast drivers starting from the back. This almost reminds you of an all-star race that you've seen at Charlotte, where they invert the field and let them duke it out for the last 10 laps.
Definitely indeed, and I can tell you, Darrell Harris, he's really making contact with the wall there. I just seen a little scrape out of the 9 car there as he's getting a little ground loss there. We're getting a big gaggle of cars mixing up this action. Looks like Noah Joyce may be the end of that tail as he's trying to get past Austin Spencer, and now
Yep, not bad, as it looks like Darrell Harris is able to calm that car down just a little bit. Not real happy with what his night is starting off with here tonight, but Sidnor turning on the afterburners, using up the tires earlier in this race, and he's got to really keep an eye on how hard he pushes. Sidnor is making some great gains, though, moving up to 8th position in the number 54, but boy, oh boy, is he really slicing and dicing to get through this field. Apparently, he doesn't want to be in any more trouble, as you can see the left front of that car starting to bounce a little bit down there toward the bottom. Looks like he's able to hold on, going to put some pressure here on William Page and see if he can fire through on turn 3 and 4.
William Page will end up losing that spot to Garrett Sidnor. Sidnor still advancing through the field, but another driver that's also trying to advance his way through the field is Luke Smith after starting in the back of the last spot. Smith is now finding his way up to the number 5 slot, so top 5 spots so far for Luke Smith.
Yeah, not so bad here. A couple of side-by-side racing we see out there as we keep this battle raging on that actually continues behind him. Person in the hot seat right now is Cal Lovell. That's him in the number 5 K&N machine there on the outside. And once again, Darren Ingram sticking that Monster Energy machine in where maybe it doesn't belong. He goes ahead and checks out. Ingram going to settle in outside the top 10. So running through our top here is Justin Krasneski. Antonio Ruiz gaining 3 spots here on the night. And Kerry Rogers, who's fallen from 2nd down to 3rd. So not bad there out of the number 12 machine. He's still holding on. So 2 Toyotas, a Ford, followed by 2 Chevrolets to round out our top 5.
So far, rounding out the top 10, Garrett Sidnor still making advances. William Page will be 7th. Noah Joyce will be 8th. Andrew Lonis will be 9th. Rounding out the top 10 will be Darren Ingram.
All right, everybody's going to be really hoping that all these drivers can keep this one mellowed out here. We've seen a lot of caution-free races out of the USRL League. I would almost say if this one goes green to the end, I would almost qualify it as a caution-free race, seeing that there was just a little fumble there on the start. But no harm, no foul as they continue this race here up toward the front. Now, a driver coming down pit road unscheduled here, Zachary Webster. Sitting now 19th. He's been down here for quite some time. 2 minutes out there in the box. Looks like the right rear of that car has bent up as they are working on pulling that thing out. As it looks like a couple of the crew members, I guess, talking about what they're going to order for dinner tonight. They need to get out there and get that car fixed. Let's figure out where Scott Fleener sits. 18th. Still working his way up front. Now, oddly enough here, Douglas, taking a look at Scott Fleener. He's not moving up as fast as Garrett Sidnor is, and any idea why?
Unfortunately, I think maybe that damage could end up being a possibility as Scott Fleener is scheduled to be a lap down. Yes, he is a lap down currently in the 18th position, so Fleener is trying to fight to get back to those top 3 cars to hopefully get his lap back. But Scott Fleener, he's got a lot of work ahead of him.
I like the way you bring up him being a lap down. So it may be a cause for him not racing up there, just waiting for the next caution. Be safe, be clean, get the lucky dog, then race the car. There's no sense of putting this thing in any more danger than he needs to. Now, speaking of danger, we talked earlier about Cal Lovell. He was in the hot seat sitting 10th. Unfortunately, since we panned away from him and now he's back under the microscope here, Cal Lovell has now dropped to 14th. He's in 4th position since the last time we saw him. Cal is starting to fall back. That Ford is not treating him too good out there. Hopefully that Mustang is able to open up here and start coming alive. But only 16 laps into a 100-lap race, and we got a lot of pit stops to do. We got probably a little bit of tangle-ups out there. A little bit of side-by-side racing, and it's tough to pass. So, does he mind his P's and Q's? Do we race this one out, or we just kind of hang in there?
I guess at this point, with the way Cal Lovell is fighting back, he's he's trying to, I think, hang on to what he has. As he's right now doing battle with Zach Krastowski. But Cal Lovell, he may have used up his tires just riding that long. So Cal's just holding on.
All right, well, hopefully he is able to continue. Zach Krastowski holding in 15th. Unfortunately, 14th through about 19th of all lost positions except Colby Martin, who started dead last here in the race in the 94 Chevrolet. Colby trying to work his way up. He's currently sitting 17th, but minding his P's and Q's, and that's what I like seeing out of a lot of these drivers. You see some of them, they are to the floor. Right now we've seen Antonio Ruiz and Justin Kuznetski have traded spots, so Antonio Ruiz is going to get some time up in the front. Apparently you see him trying to break the draft there just a little bit of an IndyCar move, but and then you see some guys that actually sit back in the race and try to let the race kind of pan over and work their way toward them. You get about that lap 75, the guys are going to really start turning and burning. But my biggest concern is when you wait it out, is there enough time in the race to make something up? When the race starts coming along, if you're fighting any sort of damage or if there's a lot of rubber buildup here on the track.
Really all depends, and a lot of factors can end up playing into that. Like you said, a lot of these drivers are probably playing it safe right now. I think Kerry Rogers is one of the examples. He's sitting back in spot number 3 right now. It's just watching those two dead smack in front of him battling it out. Kerry may be another driver that's just letting it pan out, and just hopefully one of them makes a mistake.
On here with Antonio Ruiz looking to the inside. Oh, looks like Justin Kuznetski's thinking about it here as we try to see if we can find him. There he is. Not bad, as 11 car is going to have to march out of position as the cystic fibrosis number 05. Toyota moves back into the lead. He's going to lead lap number 20, getting number 21 underway. Kerry Rogers sits 3rd. Luke Smith 4th. Garrett Sidnor has fought himself back up to 5th. Not bad. All right, Stella, we are taking a look out there as I see she has joined in. I'm going to make an adjustment here on my end and see if we can make everything happy-go-lucky. Go ahead and continue, Douglas. Talk to me about this race, brother.
I mean, what exciting race so far. As we do have a new leader in Justin Kuznetski, so Kuznetski will hold on to the number 1 slot. And right now, we do have a battle going on for spot number 2 between Kerry Rogers and Antonio Ruiz. Ruiz will end up having the run down to the inside, and it looks like he might be able to just clear Kerry Rogers, and it looks like Rogers may have scraped the wall a little bit on the back straightaway, so Rogers will settle back into spot number 3. And right now, gaining on those top 3 slots right now is Luke Smith. Luke Smith sitting back in spot number 4 right now. He is trying to make up the ground that he lost in the beginning of the race, and right now doing a very good job. And right now we're seeing a battle going on for the number 5 slot between Cam Barnes and Garrett Sidnor. Sidnor will end up having the run onto the outside line as Barnes is still trying to fight back. Sidnor may have a little bit of advantage onto the outside. Still can't clear him, but Sidnor will still have the advantage for spot number 5.
Yep, William Page is going to be trying to make a move here or have to make a choice. Sidnor or Barnes? Who does he follow? He chooses both. Oddly enough, it looks like Sidnor is going to have the top line. Cam Barnes makes a full clear here, but closing the door is going to be Garrett Sidnor. No way he's going to allow that 97 machine to get up close to the wall. Closing the gap will be William Page, and once again, the battle rages on through 3 and 4. These guys still side by side. No one looking to let up at all here as they continue this run. So where in the world can they come up with some sort of a move? Can Sidnor make the pass, or is Cam Barnes going to keep pressuring him on that low line? The right side tires of each of these drivers are desperately holding on for dear life as they continue to race side by side.
And still racing side by side down the back straightaway. On the entrance of the corners, it looks like Cam Barnes is getting a little bit of an advantage, but off of the exit of the corners, Garrett Sidnor with that outside line still getting a big, humongous run and still holding on to that spot as he's still trying to fight back Cam Barnes right now. And right now, it looks like another driver that's trying to join in on that party is William Page. He's sitting right there in the number 7 slot watching the show.
Yep, not bad. There's Cam Barnes finally makes the pass. Sidnor thinks about nudging him there right on the backstretch, see if he can get him going a little too fast into 3 and 4, but that's not going to pan out. Sidnor finally comes down to almost to a break, but once again, back under fire. William Page taking a look as he is now to the inside in the U.S. Air Force machine. His 42 Ford slides on around a lot easier than it took Cam Barnes to shoot around. Now, we talked a little bit about how our lead was going up there as well, as we see just on the edge of our screen the number 11 of Antonio Ruiz. Enjoyed a couple laps led there, but man, he's fallen down to 4th, and it looks like he's going to be under fire by Cam Barnes. This, right now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's the 49 machine of Scott Fleener. Boy, talk about that. We were talking about hanging back. Fleener's actually up here battling with the guys who are currently about middle of the top 10.
Whoop. Right now, like we said, Scott Fleener is one of those drivers that is trying to find a lucky dog, still currently sitting a lap down in the 18th slot. So Fleener's trying to gain as much ground as he possibly can. As it looks like, we almost had 3 wide there in the front, as Antonio Ruiz, Cam Barnes, and William Page ended up doing battle down the front straightaway. But now Garrett Sidnor trying to pop his nose back in to the exit of the corner of William Page, but Page will still have the outside line advantage. And right in front of them, Cam Barnes and Antonio Ruiz are going at it. Patrick, we got battles going all over the place.
Yeah, no, right now the battle's heating up between the 4th position all the way back to 8th. Not bad here, definitely keeping this one lively as we get lap number 30 underway here. Krzyzewski enjoying a lead out front by at least 3/4 of a second over top of Luke Smith, which, yes, the same Luke Smith that it was involved in the lap 1 caution has returned back to the top 3. Not bad after fixing some of that damage. He came in on lap number 2 for some damage repair and some fuel. Back out he goes, and he is going to continue on, but we still continue to fight here in the back. Garrett Sidnor figuring, he qualified 3rd. He should be up in 3rd, but right now he's battling with Antonio Ruiz.
Oh, we got a caution.
5th, and we got trouble back in the back of the pack as Daryl Harris and Austin Spencer seem to be in some trouble back at the start-finish line.
Big problems indeed. We got a couple of cars involved in that incident. It's involving Daryl Harris, Zach Krzyzewski, and Colby Martin.
Hood popped up here on Daryl Harris. We saw him making some contact with the wall earlier here in the race. So the woes continue here for the number 9 Chevrolet. The Canadian having some trouble here tonight. He'll be heading down pit road for some much-needed repairs. Checking in on Austin Spencer. Doesn't seem as bad. Little bend up there on the rear. This is an excellent opportunity here for Scott Fleener, as this will give him the lucky dog around. Zach Krzyzewski, he'll be joining down there in pit. Oof, good mash up in there in the tail of that machine. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what causes our yellow flag here tonight. Riding along with Zach Krzyzewski first and see what he sees. Whoop! Oh, wow. Who is that slinging out there? Is that Colby? I think that was the 94 car. I think I might have been a little insult to injury hit here. Let's see over top. Oh, phooey. Yeah, Harris had nowhere to go. Nails the back of Austin Spencer. Oh, I think this is... Ouch. All right. So we are back under caution for our second one here tonight. We'll find our guys that I believe are hanging out in pit road. They're working on getting these cars back together. Pretty much a fire sale out there for everybody coming in. Nobody deciding to stay out except Scott Fleener. He got the lucky dog around, and he'll be coming in dead last into pit road. But he will be reassuming there in the back. DJ Harris out there in the chat saying, well, Well, we're not saying anything out there, buddy. The number 9 Chevrolet had absolutely nowhere to go. Go ahead and let us know if you can update us out there and tell us how much required, as we saw the hood popped out there on that machine. Hopefully you're able to get that one fixed. Douglas, tough night there for DJ Harris. But a lucky pull or a turn of events here for Scott Fleener.
Yeah, that was definitely the caution that Scott Fleener was looking for. And yes, you are right. He will be back on the lead laps. So, yes, back on the lead lap, yes. But he's going to have a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah, trying to take a close look here at Scott Fleener. It looks like he still has some damage on the rear of that Ford from earlier in the race. I don't know if they're unable to pull that out or if he was willing to sacrifice any time. He might come back down, revisit, try to see if he can get that dent pulled out a little more. His downforce is much needed here at this track. I would not want to risk any part of that, as you can see what happens when a driver gets a little bit loose. Coming out of 4, tires starting to wear down, guys figuring it out, and bam, here we are. Boy, I gotta give it to Luke Smith. Look at that paint job out there as we take a look at the 39 machine. A little something different there. I think he's even got Pokemon on that car.
Yep, he's got a Pokemon theme going on there.
Huh. What is on the hood?
I have no idea.
Oh. All right, pace car lights are off. Gonna get back underway here in just a moment. Waiting for Barney in the flag booth to get the wave. But we're waiting for Krzyzewski to take off. There he goes.
Back out. Krzyzewski wasting no time at all, grabbing that number 1 slot back to where he belongs. Luke Smith is looks like settling to spot number 2, and doing battle for spot number 3 was Cam Barnes and Kerry Rogers, but now it looks like Kerry Rogers wants another slot as he's doing battle now with Luke Smith for the 2nd spot.
Yeah, oddly enough, these two drivers go at it night in and night out. Rogers and Joyce and Cam Barnes, these seem to be the 3, but look at the spread. Cal Lovell into the wall. That's going to cost him. Dak down to 9th for Cal. Boy. Tough night here tonight, not only for Cal, but for DJ Harris. As a quick update from his crew. 12 minutes of optional repair. They're going to try to straighten that car out before he goes back out there and try to remain competitive. I don't blame you. Definitely want to knock down as many laps as you can so your sponsors can see your vehicle out there on the track regardless. We'll see how it goes. Right now, everybody kind of rally cap out there for Luke Smith, who's fighting down on the bottom. Joyce taking a shot on the outside, and that is not an alcohol reference to what he's got going on his car. He's just making a move, and he gets it 3rd. So that's 6 spots gained for Noah Joyce here tonight. He's looking for another as Kay's on the outside of Kerry Rogers. Nice tight race car for him. That thing is flossing through this field. He's moving on up. Close to the wall. Man, makes the clear. Not bad.
How about Noah Joyce gaining the number 2 slot? Kerry Rogers will settle back into spot number 3. And right now, and here comes Garrett Sidnor trying to advance his name into the mix in the 50 car, trying to get past Kerry Rogers for the number 3 slot. And right behind them in spot number 5 and 6 is Luke Smith and Cam Barnes. Barnes trying to fight back some of the lost ground that he ended up. And right now still gaining ground.
Wow. Interesting move as Garrett Sidnor is taking a look underneath. Right now, Kerry Rogers has been under fire here for quite some time. Krzyzewski is getting away, but not so fast as it looks like Noah Joyce is getting ready to see if he can put him under fire, but Kerry Rogers coming back into play. The Dell machine looking for one more shot. Backing up the turn goes Noah Joyce. Krzyzewski's in trouble. I think here in the next couple of laps, right now we may see the 05 Toyota back under fire as we take a look off the back of the mobile machine. one of the finest oils out there. Guys, to make sure you add Mobil 1 to your car. Don't drink what you see on the front, the king of beers, the Bud Machine. As these two Toyotas do battle, looks like Noah Joyce finally getting a fender on him here, trying to hold that outside line contact. No can do.
Actually, almost barely made contact with the wall. Very close call for Noah Joyce, but getting loose. Look at all the ground that he's going to lose right now, as Luke Smith will now settle back into spot number 2, and Garrett Sidnor trying to advance some ground to get into the top 3, but Noah Joyce, he's fighting back.
Yep, looks like Noah Joyce goes in and scrapes the Moog and the Sunoco off the side of the decals there on the fender on the right front, but he's more concerned with the blinking of that 39 machine in front of him. Hopefully Luke Smith is able to miraculously clean up that internet connection here before we lose him completely, and that would be devastating here to see that work. As we move up to our Chase Copter Cam, brought to you by the Michelin Tire Company. Noah Joyce sitting 3rd, Garrett Sidnorth 4th, Cam Barnes 5th, Rogers and Cal Lovell sit 6th and 7th. William Page rounding out our top 8. Moving on to the last of our top 10 will be Darren Ingram and Victor Vallee. Now, Vallee has been on quiet here during this race, but Krzyzewski has lost the lead. Luke Smith leading it there for lap number 42. Not bad here as Luke Smith coming back from that first lap caution, getting the lead.
And 3 wide right now in the back. That is right now Garrett Sidnor. He's the beef patty in the sandwich, and Cam Barnes is in big trouble.
Yes, he is. And somebody got cooked here. Cam Barnes. That's going to be it for him. Left front wheel broken off, and Cam Barnes, that's going to be the end of his night here. Yeah, not bad. Douglas catching that out there as these guys got 3 wide. Something had to give. Cam Barnes, unfortunately, got the worst of it here. We'll go double check and look back, as it looks like he is going to be heading down pit road, and that will finish his night. Cam Barnes, the woes continue here for the 97 Chevrolet for this season. He has had nothing but bad luck, and hopefully Cam Barnes is able to work this out before he starts throwing punches down there in the in pit road. Something happened, and we're definitely going to find out and see how it happened as we roll back to find out what took Cam Barnes out of this race. Oof. Yeah, there was just nowhere to go. Not when you're at 175, 180 miles an hour. That's going to take him right on the wall. Hard hit, though. All right, let's take another look here at Cam Barnes, see if we can find another angle. Huh. Let me roll this back here just a little bit as we take a look at the 31. I'm wondering if the 31 had made contact with Sidnor. Now Sidnor just getting loose here. I want to see from Cal Lovell's position. That'd be where I'd want to see it. See if we can find a roll bar. Let's take a look here. So I want to see what happened to Cam Barnes from Cal Lovell's position. Oof. Yeah, it looked like that knock that Sidnor had made contact there with Cam Barnes, and Cam Barnes kind of bumped him to the side and ricocheted him back up the track into him. Boy, hate to see that happen. But it is all part of racing, guys. If you think you can do it, hang out with us. There it is, iRacing.com. You can definitely join up with us here. Get out to the USRL Cup Series. They're definitely looking for drivers. 19 out here on the track. I'd love to see 30, if we can. And Douglas, you know when you got a full field out there, it's somewhere between 30 and 40. If you think it's dicey with only 19 out here on the track, boy, oh boy. You got 3 wide about 4 rows back.
Yeah, it would definitely play factors for an interesting race. And I can tell you what, we got an interesting strategy going on here. Noah Joyce decided to come back down pit road.
I wonder if he was dealt any damage. Looks like a 15-second pit stop, so not bad. Hey, that's Daryl Harris returning back. There's Jay out there in the chat saying this is a fun group to race with. Okay, so Luke Smith, Oshawott? Okay, I believe you. How the heck am I supposed to know that? Any kind of Pokemon is the top 150 for me. Once I get over 500. Puplip? Is that how you say it? Yeah, well, alright, never mind. Never mind, I'm not even going to do it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get this one back under green. Lap number 46 should be underway here, and that's going to be Luke Smith that's in the lead. Justin Krzyzewski finally getting his money's worth here tonight, as he has been almost uncontested out there for most of this race. Krzyzewski's going to be trying to chase down Luke Smith as they get these glazed tires back up to temperature. The 05 going to try to take that opportunity. Slice to the inside here. Battle for the lead. Justin Krzyzewski not looking to give up. Gets down close where he can almost line ride on the bottom. He gets it. And holding Luke Smith close to the wall. Getting the lead back is going to be Krzyzewski holding on to lap 47. 48 underway. Smith is sitting second. And right now Sidnor involved in that last caution is going to be watching these two do battle in front of him, as it seems he lays off just a hair.
Laying off just a hair indeed, as he's watching these two fight for the number 1 slot right in front of them. Luke Smith gaining the ground on the outside line, really getting the run, but Krzyzewski trying to make the inside line work to the best of his abilities. Still going side by side as we cross the start-finish line. Lap number 49 will go out in lights. Right now, Luke Smith looks like he will get the advantage.
Notice the bumping you see here from Justin Krzyzewski's Toyota. Definitely able to hold the bottom a lot better than some of the drivers I've seen out there tonight. But I'm wondering if Krzyzewski has been saving tires to do a little bit of that. We talked a little bit earlier about pit strategy. Look who's starting to rear his head back there in the back. Noah Joyce rejoining us back here in 4th position. And I think he's going to be looking to see if he can make a pass here, as right now his pace is insanely fast. Right now his last lap was 30.81, where he came up with all the speed, I'm not sure. Here he comes, now sitting 3rd, right behind Krzyzewski. So this is insane to see the kind of speed he's putting out right now, and that is impressive to see what Noah Joyce is able to do. But Cal Lovell, yeah, it looks calm, cool, and collected there, but looking out front, or Noah Joyce to the inside. Krzyzewski's going to now sit 3rd as the Budweiser theme. The king of beers moving up to the front, and we've got the Toyotas back in 2nd and 3rd. Luke Smith about to be under fire momentarily.
Luke Smith is definitely getting the whole rear view of Noah Joyce in the Budweiser Toyota. So Joyce trying to look down to the inside line. Here he comes. Noah Joyce making a daring call on that last caution to come down and pit. But it looks like that pit stop is definitely going to come into play right now, as new leader just by the skin of his teeth, as it looks like now he will gain the number 1 slot. New leader, Noah Joyce.
Not bad by Noah Joyce. Has he cost himself any part of this race by taking an early pit? Has he cost himself an extra set of tires, as Noah Joyce has been down pit road 3 times here tonight, but with 191 miles an hour coming out of that race car, 0.2 faster than anybody else out here on the field. It doesn't seem to be really turning back and actually working against him here. So excellent job here by Noah Joyce. But we rotate back here to Kerry Rogers. We'd see him fighting it back once again in the Dell machine, as it looks like Garrett Sidnor is back under fire. Ford's 4th through 7th as we continue this race. Not bad as we break past our halfway point. Guys, I don't know about you, but the USRL League is looking pretty good here tonight as we see these guys battling back and forth. Any kind of trouble we've seen out there, at least there's a reason why it happened, and no net code anywhere to be seen.
Definitely don't want to see any net code on this end. As of right now, looks like the battle's going to calm down for the number 5 slot, as Kerry Rogers will gain that position. And it looks like Kerry Rogers is trying to find 4th right now as he's doing battle with Cal Lovell now for the number 4 slot. Lovell still fighting back on the outside, getting the advantage onto the outside line, and it looks like he'll resume 4th place over Kerry Rogers.
K&N Air Filter Machine is able to hold on to 4th here. Cal Lovell, Kerry Rogers, Garrett Sidnor, and William Page are where the Fords decide to settle down. Darren Ingram, Scott Fleener, not bad after getting the lucky dog, is able to get that Dunkin' Donuts machine back up to 9th, and Victor Vallee still holding on to 10th. Once again, a quiet race for him, but we'll see him, I'm sure, kicking high gear here a little bit later on into the race. But the 43 machine, look who that is. John Peterson's originally starting back there in the 14th spot. Breaks into 10th. He's looking for not 1 but 2 as he now fights on the inside of Scott Fleener. This is the battle for 9th position as we see him sliding right on through. Not bad here, but not only is the battle happening there, but there's a lot happening up front between Lovell, Rogers, and Sidnor. As that battle finishes up there and fizzles out, Sidnor back under fire. Right now, this is something here for Kerry Rogers. Inside, outside, doesn't seem to be a line. This guy can't drive.
Definitely different driving styles indeed from Kerry Rogers and Garrett Sidnor. Here he comes again. Sidnor looking down to the inside, and he will gain that spot from Kerry Rogers. And look who else wants the spot. William Page in the 42. He's looking to the inside.
All right, no mellow yellow machine for him out there tonight. He's looking to fly through this field as that 42 machine is trying to hang in there. 5 Fords now clumped up now as John Peterson breaks into 8th. Notice that Kellogg's machine starting to come alive. Darren Ingram, somehow he's coming alive. I'm wondering if this track is starting to turn around as these drivers are starting to get faster and faster out there on the track. Maybe they got a little something going on as we sit shotgun with Darren Ingram sitting behind William Page. So this is currently 7th and 9th. Wow, John Peterson shoots it in there through 3 and 4. He's going to go to the outside. This allows Ingram to have a little wider berth here in the back, and Page now back to the drive board as he loses her position.
Right now, another driver that is on the move is John Peterson. He is currently sitting in the number 7 slot as of right now, and it looks like he will gain the 6th slot away from Kerry Rogers. John Peterson's on the move.
Yeah, Peterson definitely coming alive here. I think he's tired of hanging out there in the back. William Page is out of shape. I wonder if a little too much time on that low line is overheated the tires. Whoop, little sidestep from the 42 as he scrubs the paint. Now it looks like he's just going to be trying to hold on to the top 10. Fleener has broken past him now as we get a nice shot there on pit road. 49 machine there of Fleener. Fleener, yep, he goes ahead and crosses Andrew Lonis as he sits there in 10th, moving on through the Home Depot machine. He now clears the U.S. Air Force. So not bad here for the rest of the field, but horrible here for William Page. Hopefully he gets back to the drawing board here, cools those tires down that he originally put back there on lap number 32. He's able to get back up to the front. But we talk a lot about what's happening between the spots of 6th through 10th. And Noah Joyce has had the lead here for quite some time. Luke Smith has passed Justin Krzyzewski, and that's for 2nd and 3rd.
I can tell you what, Noah Joyce, he definitely made the call of the night. He is gone. As of right now, going into turn number 4 right now, and we're seeing the battle for the number 2 slot heating up between Justin Krzyzewski and Luke Smith. Smith's still fighting onto that outside line, trying to make something happen. And as of right now, he's barely got the edge from Justin Krzyzewski, but here comes Krzyzewski fighting back onto the inside. Luke Smith will end up, he'll try to gain that spot away from Krzyzewski. Cal Lovell, he's watching the show sitting back in spot number 4, and Garrett Sidmore is rounding out our top 5. But actually, he might not be in the top 5 for right now, because here comes John Peterson trying to break himself into the top 5.
Yeah, Peterson doing a great job there in the back as he is working down toward the bottom. Honing in here on Justin Krzyzewski and Luke Smith. Side by side, they still go. Krzyzewski pushes him up the track. Excellent move here by Krzyzewski. That was, I know it doesn't look intentional, but it 110% was. Krzyzewski drives him into the turn a little bit deeper, forcing him higher up on the track. Makes the pass. Now Luke Smith's going to have to stare at his rear bumper. All calm, though, as you talk a little bit about Noah Joyce having the pit stop right now of the race. Lap number 44 is when he came in. That gave him a 12-lap advantage over the rest of the field, which has definitely paid off. Does he have enough tires to make it to the end, though? These guys are all going to have to pit probably around lap 70 is about where my timer's showing here that these guys are going to have to come back down. Does Noah Joyce pit then, or does he wait an extra 10 laps, come pit, and try to pass the entire field again? Right now, I think Noah Joyce, the only thing he is considering at this time is that 3-second lead he's got over the rest of the field, is trying to stretch it out as far as he can, stay out of trouble, and then be able to come back and battle it out later on here in the race with the advantage. But Krzyzewski sits second, Luke Smith is third, Cal Lovell fourth, and John Peterson fighting there for fifth, as it looks like Sidnor has switched him up, dropping down to the bottom. Sidnor been pretty strong down on the bottom of the race this whole battle that we've seen out here in this entire contest that we've been running. But this has been a great move here for John Peterson. He's really come alive here in the past couple of laps, and I've got to admit, he's on the exact same strategy that Noah Joyce is. Last time John Peterson came down pit road was lap number 45, and it is paying off. He held off, waited for the tires to come to him, and now he's attacking. Not bad for a 9-position gain over his original qualifying spot for the number 43 Ford.
John Peterson definitely trying to get a good night, and he is currently sitting in the top 5 slots, so not bad for John Peterson. As we go farther back into the field, it looks like everybody's pretty much calmed down. Right behind, Garrett Sidnor is sitting in 6th, Darren Ingram sitting 7th, Kerry Rogers 8th, William Page 9th, and Andrew Lonis will be sitting in spot number 10. So currently everybody is all single file all around the track.
All right. The big driver I want to bring up here as well is Antonio Ruiz, who was actually sitting all the way back about that 14th position, now moves up to 10th, as I thought we were heading down pit road, and this is horrible for some of these guys as caution does come out. And I don't think it was these guys having trouble during the caution that brings our caution out. I know Scott Fleener, Darren Ingram, and Victor Vallee came down pit road. Boy, this definitely wipes any lead that Noah Joyce had. He was enjoying it and now loses it. So Noah Joyce has been making a great call here for his pit stops, but does he do it again?
While we're talking about that, I think I may have found the cause of the caution. It looks like big trouble for Darren Ingram as he was coming down pit road. It looks like he lost it on the entrance of pit road.
Oh boy, that means he's going to be under fire by everybody else here. Whoop. Looking to see from that angle. Was any of that his issue? It looked like he might have gotten nudged, but way late entry here in the pits. Dang, you wouldn't think it'd throw a caution for that, though. Maybe on the racing surface? Man, I've got to say, if Darren Ingram didn't get nudged by Kerry Rogers, that would have been really, really something here. I've got to know, is there contact between these two? Here's a good angle. And a little bump right there. So Rogers did make contact there with Ingram. And I don't know if that sent the 21 just wigging out just a little bit there. It may have given him a little extra shove. Yeah, some of these other guys who were here and toward the back end up getting in some trouble. Alrighty. Alright, so that should bring out our fourth caution here of the night. Zach Krastowski coming back down pit road again here. As Krastowski's working his way out in the number 4. So Chevrolet getting back out onto the track. He ended up dealing with some damage there. We checked back on the way back win sheet. That should have been back on lap 30. Pluto TV machine had some trouble checking out there on our pit stops. And it was chosen by Noah Joyce and company. All the way back to the 12th position, came in the pit. A couple of drivers did come down just a hair earlier. Victor Valley and Scott Fleener came down to lap 67. I'm hoping that will buy them enough room in the tank to make it to the end of this race. Not bad here by the USRL Series. Douglas, great race here tonight so far. Noah Joyce is going to have his hands full, as right now some of the fastest drivers have been sitting behind him. Yes, he's been pretty quick here, with the best time of 30.49 out there on the track. That is about 2 to 3 tenths faster than anybody else here on the racing surface. Luke Smith, Sid Nort, Cal Lovall, and Justin Krzyzewski make up our top 5. And right now he is going to be in a world of hurt here if he doesn't nail this launch. But he does. Great job here. Noah Joyce able to break away. That helps Sid Nort slide up to second. But he's still contested by Luke Smith. Not bad by Smith. Down on the bottom line here. Cal Lovall sits 4th. Krzyzewski is 5th. As he looks to fend off John Peterson. Peterson and Page now going to do battle as the 05 of Justin Krzyzewski. Watching Cal Lovall deal with a little bit of an understeer problem. That front end is not cooperating here. Cal Lovall is in trouble, and who's more in trouble? Austin Spencer through the infield.
Ooh, that was a really great save by Austin Spencer to not lose control of that car.
Boy, with the new damage models that they have and now the new debris model, we'll see if that causes any problems out there on the track with any dirt or grass he may have brought up from plowing the infield. So Noah Joyce, Sid Nort, Smith, Lovall, Krzyzewski. Coming up 1 through 5, Antonio Ruiz. We were kind of knocking on him a little bit for falling back. Whoop! Goes up top and goes ahead and gives a quick smack to the side there to John Peterson. And Peterson not happy. You can see he's definitely making some aggressive moves. Guess somebody's going to go ahead and rip that rear view mirror off because he's not even looking back this time. 43 machine working up front. Cal Lovall having some huge connection problems out there, guys. Right now, I think that number 5 is going to be in some trouble.
Also, here comes Antonio Ruiz trying to make some noise in the 11 car, trying to gain back a lot of the lost ground that he ended up losing. Ruiz looks like he is sitting in spot number 7 right now, so a little comeback from him.
Nudge off the wall by a couple of our drivers here in the front. Noah Joyce still holding on to this one as he nails down once again record-breaking time of 30.4. 30.42 from Garrett Sidnor. Luke Smith with 30.45. So nobody else have been reaching down into the 30.4s. And now we've got over 5 drivers who've gotten into that mark. So either this track is coming around or something's turning it on. But 25 laps left to go, 24 at the line. This is Noah Joyce's race here so far. This thing stays green the entire way. Garrett Sidnor may have to reach into the hat and pull out a trick here because he's got to come up with something. Down to almost half a second, drop back. Luke Smith is 1 second off the lead as everybody else single files out here. It looks like we finally have a slow part here of this race. Guys are definitely hanging back. But as I say that, Antonio Ruiz back at it again inside of William Page.
Ruiz trying to make the move on William Page but can't get it done. So Page will settle into spot number 6. Ruiz will have to settle for spot number 7 right now. Going down the back straightaway into turn number 3. But here comes Ruiz trying to fight back onto the inside. Ruiz he's getting really loose going into turn number 4, and that'll lose some ground.
Yeah. might be having a little bit of trouble here, as right now we take a look at Antonio Ruiz coming out of 4. Contact with the wall. John Peterson jerks off to the side there, trying to make sure he doesn't make contact. And once again, looks like he's going to take the Austin Spencer line through the grass. I don't know if there was any net code there, but that looked pretty ugly. That seemed very unusual for John Peterson to fly off the side of the track like that. Cal Lovell has been losing a boatload of connection out there as he is continuing to see if he can hang on. So John Peterson, sitting there in the top 5, has been knocked down to 13th after some issues out there with Antonio Ruiz. Let's see if we can take a look, see if we see anything that happens to John Peterson here. Yeah, we get in the general area. Let me see. Looks like right there, Ruiz straightens up. Contact with the wall. Oh, see the damage to the right front fender? Net code, baby. Look at the fender dent in. Yep, it thinks it hit him. And John Peterson slings off the track here. Now, the Grinch may have stole Christmas on the front of his car, but that one might have stolen his race. Hopefully we'll see John Peterson return back to the front. If there's a quick caution, he might be able to fix some of that much-needed aerodynamic power he's been using here tonight. Not bad. For the one who came out on top on that one, Antonio Ruiz, but looks like the damage is now starting to cost him. Krzyzewski is on around, but he is now playing pressure. What in the world? Antonio Ruiz getting in the side of Krzyzewski there, and that is what we would call the quintessential dive bomb.
Very, very quintessential dive bomb indeed. It's a great job by Justin Krzyzewski to hold on to that car, almost really losing it.
Yeah, heavily frowned upon there for somebody to send it in and use somebody else as a backstop. Krzyzewski is holding on to 5th, looking back in his Toyota, looking for another one. Antonio Ruiz looking to get his Super up to the front. Now he's got 6 as he puts William Page into the rear view. A lot of different angles here where guys want to come up with some sort of power. Sidnor has only half a second to make up to find the leader, so he's within striking distance. Now it's time to conserve. Joyce, Sidnor, Smith. I got a feeling this is not the last we're going to see of these 3 for tonight. Cal Lovell looks like maybe, just maybe. Yes, he's got the connection hammered down as we check in to see if that K&N machine has got that thing cleared up. And Kyle Lovell looks like he yanks out the home phone and turns off the cell phone to make sure he doesn't lose this, as this will be one of his finest finishes here this season. Antonio Ruiz sits 5th as William Page. Oh my gosh. William Page fires on around. Not bad as he now collects 5th. The 21 machine there of Darren Ingram. He'll be sitting to the inside of Krzyzewski, and boy, oh boy, Douglas, this is some tight racing we're seeing out here, especially once again 5th through about 10th.
It's really getting tight, indeed. As right now, once again, here comes Justin Krzyzewski trying to fight back onto the inside. He ended up giving Antonio Ruiz a little bit of a bump onto that corner, but now it looks like Krzyzewski will go back to spot number 6. Antonio Ruiz will have to settle back into spot number 7, and right behind him, trying to gain the spot on the inside, here comes Darren Ingram.
Yeah, Ingram not looking to let off the gas here at all. Wants to keep Antonio Ruiz on his heels here. 27 machine of Lonis now coming in. Lonis now sitting down on the bottom and is trying to close the gap. Nice job here by Andrew Lonis as he goes ahead and bumps Antonio Ruiz again. Right now, Kerry Rogers has got to come up with something if he wants to keep him going backwards. So Antonio Ruiz, 5th to 9th here in a handful of laps. Back he goes. 13 laps left to go. We've got to really have to hammer this one down. Let's check in on our leaders. Yep, that's what I figured. Garrett Sidnor, Luke Smith, and Noah Joyce. 1, 2, and 3. Sidnor has waited him out. Into the lead he goes. And Luke Smith trying to take a look here for second.
And Luke Smith, it looks like he will get the advantage on the outside line. So Luke Smith will now settle into spot number 2. Noah Joyce, after dominating some of the race, will have to settle back to spot number 3. But we still got 10 laps of racing to go. Anything could happen. Al Lovell is sitting back in spot number 4. And right now, sitting in spot number 5, breaking into the top 5, is William Page.
All right, rolling back here to the pass for the lead. We don't want to miss how this happened. It looked like Sidnor may have set him up. Not bad, high, low, and he does. Clears him. Noah Joyce just sliding around the track. Sidnor drops off the track to make a full clear and gets around him. Not bad. So Sidnor definitely waiting it out, waiting his turn. And now he's going to try to put some distance, but close in tow is going to be Luke Smith. And Smith, guarantee you, he's going to want a little piece as that Pokemon machine. Going to see if he can get one more spot. But I think there's still time left here in this race. About 5 to go. If I were Luke Smith, that's about when I'd start really applying the pressure here. But is Sidnor burning it out? Trying to get away from Luke Smith. Looks like everything seems A-OK. Checking out there, Cam Barnes did retire for the night back on lap 43. Darrell Harris has been able to get back out onto the track. His last time he pit was back on lap 39 where he got in trouble. And then, unfortunately, he's been doing nothing but fighting to keep that car above ground. Zach Krastowski sits 17th. Colby Martin and Zachary Webster all laps down here. And that is all the way back to 15th. Douglas, looks like Luke Smith is taking a look here to the outside. And does he get a little too far to the outside? Yes, he does.
It's a little bit too far to the outside wall, barely clipping it. Luke Smith trying to make something happen on that outside line, as it looks like he's trying to find enough grip up there. As Garrett Sidnor, he's going to end up taking that low lane to try and keep the lead. Luke Smith will once again hit the wall. And right now, sitting back in spot number 3 is Cal Lovell. Lovell finally breaking into a podium position for tonight. And I have to tell you, he's running faster than our 2 leaders right now, so we got to watch Cal Lovell.
Well, with the internet connection being a little spotty out there for the K&N machine, I hope he is able to keep this thing squared away. It'd be a great time for great connection as he can get up front. He's obviously got this thing figured out. Fresh tires, that car did not want to hook up, but that number 5 Ford is coming back alive here and still knocking down some great times. 31.69, that's 0.2 faster than the drivers in front of him here. So we'll see if this is going to pay off. He's got a little bit of fresh air, but that dirty air is definitely costing him. He's just got to figure out how to reel in Luke Smith as Cal Lovell holds on to third with about 6.5 laps left to go here as they come to the line. A couple of other drivers starting to really pick them off here as right now Justin Krzyzewski led a bunch of laps here, qualified in 6th, returns back to qualifying position. A little unusual here for Krzyzewski. I would have expected him to be up toward the front just a little more. Now, if a late time caution comes out, I expect to see somebody come on and possibly throw some tires, but it may be too late here in the race. You wouldn't want to sacrifice having to shoot through the field with 3 laps left to go. Who has enough to make it to the end? Does Garrett Sidnor have the win here with 5 to go? Does Luke Smith, as he's sitting back watching this happen? Does Cal Lovell, who has now reeled in Luke Smith and is looking for an angle? High line, expect to see Cal slice back to the inside through 3 and 4. And we'll see if Cal Lovell is going to do something about this. Trying to push Luke Smith to get back up to the front. And he is definitely rolling on through. Look at that, Cal Lovell. Little slide, and that's going to cost him some time. Noah Joyce still trying to stay up there in case there's trouble. He'll knock himself definitely a podium finish here, but with 4 laps left to go. Pressure's on Garrett Sidnor to hit these marks. He's got to hit them. He's got to be fast. You don't want to overstep.
Right now, Garrett Sidmore, he is advancing his position. Right now, actually gaining ground on Luke Smith. It's right now a half a second between Smith and Sidnor. So it looks like Sidnor is starting to pull away slightly.
Yeah, now would be a great time. Start putting the separation between you and the rest of the field. Don't make any mistakes. As right now, there's a little battle going on back here in spot number 8. Kerry Rogers under fire as Andrew Lonis is looking to find his 5th position gained here on the night. Remember I said he's been pretty quiet back there as well as Victor Vallee. Vallee is actually hanging around exactly where he qualified. He qualified in 11th, hanging out in 12th. He might be looking to see if Antonio Ruiz or Scott Fleener's burn their stuff up here and seeing if he can attack. But 2.5 seconds back, that's going to be pretty tough. As this track continues to rubber up, there's not a lot of time as these guys got less than 3 miles here left in the race. Luke Smith trying to fend off Kyle Lovell. Garrett Sidnor might have the winning strategy here tonight. White flag is out this time by for the South Point 150.
Right now, it looks like this is beginning to be the story of Garrett Sidnor. After all the incidents that happened tonight, he managed to work his way through the field and everything. But right now, it looks like Garrett Sidnor will pick up the win over Luke Smith and Cal Lovell. And here he comes off of turn number 4. Your winner of this race is going to be Garrett Sidnor.
Garrett Sidnor crossing the line for the win. Luke Smith is second. Cal Lovell, not bad. 3rd place finish for him here tonight. Not bad for a top 10 start. As he comes alive, each of the drivers in the podium positions gained at least 2 positions here on the night. So Garrett Sidnor pretty comfortable where he started and finished here tonight. That has been a great job. As Jay out there has been saying, Justin Krzyzewski's been killing it during the Dash Series. Dash for cash as these guys have been battling back and forth to get a little bit of moolah as they race. It's been a tough race here for some. Justin Krzyzewski finished 5th. I did expect him to actually finish on a podium position, but man, oh man, they had a lot of tough drives up front and hard to win spots, especially who decide to weigh their options back and forth. But Noah Joyce, that was a driver I would have expected fully to been in a podium position, but not bad here for all our guys who made it. Garrett Sidnor, the winner here of the South Point 150 at Las Vegas. So not bad out of everybody in team room number 3. Call sign here tonight is Dale on bail. Garrett Sidnor comes away with a much-needed win. As this keeps crunching on down, let's take a look at where everybody ended up here tonight. Excellent race here so far. Cam Barnes, I think, is the really surprising finish. Is seeing where he ended up on this one. So Las Vegas Motor Speedway, that is going to be the first race in the chase for the Cup here, as the points are now going to be crunched, and we're going to see how it goes. We will be off next week, but guys, don't go away. We're going to reel in our drivers, have a little conversation about how this race went, how wild it was, and definitely see what they have to say. Hang in there. We'll be right back. Alrighty, everybody, we are catching up with our third place finisher, Cal Lovell, out there in the number 5 Ford. Started 10th, finished 3rd. Man, what a race this was.
Oh, for sure, Patrick. Kanan number 5 Ford was fast. John Peterson engines always have good motor power. Yeah, that was an interesting race because whenever you think of Las Vegas, you think of it as a slick track, but it was gripped up tonight, and there wasn't really as much tire fall off that as I thought there would be. My first run was predicated on saving tire, but that didn't really work out for me, so I just pretty much went full out the last 2 runs.
Man, oh man. I know it's kind of off there, but we talk a little bit about the John Peterson engines. Can you talk to me a little bit about John Peterson and his recovery to come back into this race after getting bumped out really later on in this stage?
Yeah, this is John's track right here. He won here in season 5, so it's one of his faves for sure. John Peterson engines. You're looking at the winner's circle right now. That's a John Peterson engine right there. The front 2 cars, it's a different team. Those are John Peterson engines. It's a great engine, and I'm proud to run it.
All right, first race here of the playoffs. This is a heck of a start. How does this kind of pan out for the rest of the schedule?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to get past Luke there because he's the current points leader, but it's a top 3 is always a great start to the chase, and hopefully we keep that going.
All right, Cal, congratulations on your 3rd place finish. Go ahead and give me a shout outs about the sponsors on the car and the people out here watching you.
I got a shout out to you all. Merry Christmas to both you and Douglas. I already shouted at K&N. We got to shout out Michelob and Lowe's. They've always been a great support for me as well. I don't need to give John too much love. He has enough already. But I had fun tonight, and hope you all did too.
Oh yeah, that was an excellent race, and Douglas and I were even mentioning, man, that was a lot of action for 19 cars. That wasn't bad. I thought we were gonna maybe have a drab race, but you guys definitely made it extremely busy from 3rd all the way to 10th. That was insane here tonight. I'm sure there were battles there in the back, but man, oh man, unfortunately, that's when cars was getting collected. Cal, we will see you January 2nd, my man. Definitely get rested up, enjoy time with your family, and for the holidays, and we'll catch you then.
Thanks, same to you all. I hope to be talking to you all again after Bristol.
Ooh, yeah. 2nd. Bristol, one of my favorite tracks. All right, Cal, good luck, buddy.
Thank you, Patrick.
All right, Cal Lovell, not bad from him as Douglas catches up with Luke Smith, who was our 2nd place finisher here tonight. What a run he had.
And definitely a run that he had tonight. Luke Smith finishing in spot number 2 tonight. Luke, let me tell you, where do I begin? Beginning of the race, we had an early caution. You ended up getting collected in the first lap incident with Scott Fleener there. Tell us, how was the race overall? It was very interesting, it seemed.
Well, lap 1, there was a big checkup on the restart, and I kind of just got driven through. And after that, I came down in the pits and got the damage fixed. I didn't put new tires on it. I just went out and was driving pretty angry, so ended up making my way through the field and thought I had good speed there throughout the middle of the race and towards the end, and I had my opportunity, and I just blew it when I had the opportunity. And then from that point, I was under attack from Cal, who probably had the best tires because for some reason he's really good at saving those things. And just didn't get another opportunity to go up there and try and make a pass.
And I can tell you what, it definitely seemed to be a strategy call when it came to some of these drivers tonight. 2 of those drivers in particular were Noah Joyce and John Peterson, who seemed to have made a simple strategy call and came in to get fresh tires. Tell us, is there anything that maybe you could have done to change up your strategy and maybe could have gotten the win tonight from Garrett?
I don't really believe so, because I mean, that strategy was good for track position, but I think I played all my cards right. I think just when the opportunity came to make the move, I drove into turn one a little deep and just got up in the marbles and got into the wall a little bit, and that was pretty much all she wrote for me.
And it definitely played out into your favor by getting you a podium position tonight. We are leaving Las Vegas behind us, and we are going to be taking, I think, a few weeks off. We're not going to be coming back here until January 2nd, where we will be going to Bristol. We're going a little short track racing. Tell us, how do you feel about Bristol?
Um, at times it's been one of my best tracks, and at times it's been one of my worst. So we'll have to see. I mean, I'm definitely gonna put some practice in because the last couple times I've been to Bristol, I've struggled really bad. But I mean, I have confidence going in, and think I can at least try and put it in the podium at Bristol.
We'll definitely have to wait and see. Luke Smith, congratulations once again. Give us your shout-outs.
First off, I'd like to shout out you guys. You guys put on a fantastic broadcast. It's always awesome to go back and watch. Like to shout out John Peterson for the festive crush car with Oshawott on the hood. Like to shout out Cam Barnes for giving me a ride in the BRE Chevy. And I mean, I like to shout out everybody that shows up to race. It creates a fun environment, and it's very fun to race.
Definitely fun indeed. Luke Smith, once again, congratulations on your second place finish. Patrick, taking it back up to you.
All righty. Appreciate it, Douglas. And Luke Smith, I think, will be trying extra hard out there at the mixing bowl that we call Bristol. Yep, it can definitely cause heartache and a lot of extra stress that some guys may or may not need. Good luck to you, Luke, and we'll see how you do next round. Moving on to Garrett Sidnor, who ended up being our winner here of the race. Tire saving mode engaged, and Garrett Sidnor comes away with the win in the number 50 Ford. Man, what did you wait this one out or what?
I don't know, man. That was a bit of magic and a little bit of everything there. It just put a complete final run together. I mean, we were in a good track position there in that final restart, and we just put ourselves in position to be behind Noah Joyce there for a good bit, just letting him use his stuff up, and then we got underneath him, kind of slid away, and I'm not going to lie, with around 10, 12 to go, I knew Luke and Cal both were quicker and saved their stuff up just a tad bit more. But, I mean, I don't know. I thought with 10, 12 to go, I thought it was over. I thought they were going to get by me, and I was going to settle probably in third. But it just, the gap kept growing, and it got to a point where I was like 7/10, and I was like, okay, I'm comfortable. And, like, it finally set in that I was going to win the race. So, like, I don't know. It was all night. I felt like we started the race off with a bang and had to, repair the car and get it back to where it could be to be in position to win this race. So,
I was gonna say that almost answered my second question: is how do you boomerang back from the kind of damage that you suffer out there? Figure out how to get this thing fixed, be competitive, and start flying back up the field. We noticed you were in the back. Luke Smith was as well. Just what a race you guys had to shoot your way back up to the front, and now you come away with a win. First race of the playoffs. I mean, this has got to be a good feeling before we head into the holiday break.
Yeah, I mean, this is huge because, you start the playoffs right. And honestly, and might be a scary thing for the rest of the playoff field, but this is the track I worried about the most coming in. I felt like that I wasn't, this 50 car hadn't been quite as good as the mile and a half. So we struggled at Atlanta earlier this season, and we finally put the pieces together tonight. I mean, after that, like you said, had a minute repairs at the start of it, almost went a lap down. We didn't, and just kept after it, and we finally were in position to make something of the night and outpoint everybody. So.
Yeah, honestly, from our angle, I figured your biggest concern out there would have been Noah Joyce. His offset pitting paid off huge dividends that I think if this had gone green to the end, this might be a different story here. The guy weighed out another 5 to 10 laps. He changed tires and then blows by everybody. And I didn't honestly think that 12 laps would have made such a difference out there. But last time you pit was lap number 69. So the tires were pretty well worn once you came to the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was the thing with that caution coming out there was it was a gamble. I mean, you had, uh, you know, with 10 laps on your tires, there was easily about already 6 to 8 tenths of fall off. Once you're up to pace or up to speed. And that's the thing that Noah did is he made a gamble. And if it had, like you said, gone green, he probably would have been the one sitting here in the booth and doing this interview. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I didn't want to. I understood the gamble, but at the end of the race, if we had another caution there, because we ran long to finish the race, if we had another one, he was out of tires. So he put his money where his mouth was with pitting early, and that's just the game you play at the end of these races. So especially being limited on tires.
Yeah, 100%. And especially, it's either your racecraft or it can be some pit strategy. And I've seen guys, qualifying 20th, get some good pit strategy, and we're in a podium position. So this actually works out really well for you. Heading into Bristol. Now, the Mixing Bowl is a love-hate relationship for most drivers. I find it one of my favorite tracks. I definitely don't like the one-finger driving super speedway. I like it when it's white knuckle for about 500 laps. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I love Bristol. I feel like every time we've gone there, we've been a top 3, top 5 car. We won one race there last season. Actually, I won in the playoffs last year because of personal reasons, but we won the race in the playoffs last year at Bristol. So, I mean, we changed there's different people that come and go in the league every season, and there could be some contenders like your Justins, and we had Cosman earlier in the season as well. So it just depends who shows up. I mean, I think we still have a pretty good, fast number 50 machine to go out there and make the most of it and potentially win the race like we did tonight. So.
All right. Go ahead and talk to me about the 50 machine. Talk about the people out here watching you and the sponsors out there in the car for you tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. The Forest Glory Art and Photography machine, the good old silver and gold, pay homage to obviously the Yukon Cornelius from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and the Rudabush people, Loves Travel Stops, Georgia Peanuts, Frontline, a bunch of every front row motorsport sponsor I put on the race car every other given week. And thank you, John Peterson, for putting this car together and getting it to me today to race it. I thank you, Ray. Thank you, my mom. Thank you, my dad, anybody else that's watching. I know a lot of people around me have had a rough week, and I hope this is a little bit of a bright spot for them.
All right, Garrett Sonor, congratulations. It's been a pleasure talking to you here in Winter Circle, and we will see you in a few weeks there, buddy. Have a great holiday, and we'll see what number 50 can do on January 2nd.
All righty, thank you very much.
I like that. He almost sounded like Elvis. Thank you very much. All right. All right. Man, what a race this was here at the USRL Series. Not bad for the South Point 150 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Next time you guys will see us will be January 2nd with the USRL Series at Bristol Motor Speedway. I already see Jay out there praying it's not going to be on dirt. I am about 99.8% sure that is going to be on the ever so beloved concrete that those guys are going to be running on. Anything left to add here, Douglas, before we sign off?
Viva Las Vegas definitely played a gamble for tonight. Some people ended up losing it, some people ended up winning it. But now we move on to Bristol. Another playful track that everybody is going to have their ups and downs on, so we'll just have to wait and see.
All right, playful. I like that. That's a good way of posting that. I can definitely say once somebody gets in a wreck, normally you're in it next because it doesn't take very long. All right, holidays are coming up here, guys. Christmas. And the New Year, so we're going to be a little spotty here occasionally. We'll look out for the streams, so we'll get them scheduled up and ready for you as soon as I know when and where most of these places are going to be. From all of us at SimTrax Broadcasting, signing off tonight here with the USRL Series. Be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys next time.